Good morning. We've got your E-Block, and next month, an 80s cult classic is coming back for a special screening at Meow Wolf. The Rainbow Cult is putting their own twist on Labyrinth with drag and an interactive show.
Here to talk about all that fun, we welcome in the founder of the Rainbow Cult and assistant professor of film at CU Denver, Dr. Andy Scahill. Dr. Scahill, good morning.
Hey, good morning. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you for talking about this. Erica's finally going to understand all of our childhood trauma with this movie.
Exactly.
Before we get into all of that, talk to us about the Rainbow Cult for people who aren't familiar with it.
Yeah, sure. My work with the university, I teach film, I study audiences, and I thought, let's create a space where I can study audiences in real time. How do people actually embrace movies? How do they participate in movies? And really kind of study fandom. So I started this in my backyard, and 2 years later, we're at Meow Wolf with a quarterly show.
That is so cool. You're really marrying your two loves with this, right?
In a lot of ways.
Really fun.
Meow Wolf's such a great venue
Oh my gosh.
for that, too.
Yes.
And they embrace the unique.
Yes.
Absolutely, and it's part of their brand, and so this fits so well with them. You know, we've kind of taken our films that are more surreal and done them in Meow Wolf. So we started with Fifth Element, we did Everything Everywhere All at Once, Rocky Horror Picture Show,
yes,
and now Labyrinth.
That's so awesome. So if we come out our first time, what can we expect for this screening of Labyrinth?
First of all, please dress up, please. You know, it's especially in this time, you know,
a chance to dress up as David Bowie.
Exactly. And it's good for people of all genders, right?
Yes.
And it's such a great character, but so many iconic visuals from that film. When you come in, you'll see characters from the film brought to life by drag artists, burlesque artists, and then when we screen the film, think of it as like Rocky Horror Picture Show, but with other movies.
I was just going to say that's what it reminds me of, talking about the drag performances and whatnot. I mean, what a good movie to work with. There's such a good soundtrack.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you know, in this film, I think is part of so many people's childhoods, and in an era with so much CGI, it's so cool to go back at these practical effects and see the ingenuity.
Yeah, absolutely. And you talked about dressing up, but we also want to add in, this is for a good cause too.
Absolutely.
A portion of our proceeds goes to benefiting the Matthew Shepard Foundation.
Absolutely. And so that foundation, named after a victim of a hate crime, Matthew Shepard, supports queer youth. And so that issue of youth is so central to this film. So it's a perfect fit.
Absolutely.
Why, you know, creating Rainbow Cult and having these events at Meow Wolf, why is this something that is so personal and important for you?
You know, I think the way that film has changed so much, and the way that we can watch pretty much any movie we want to at home. I think we're missing the publicness of going to the movies, the joy of bringing other people to something that you love and sharing in that. And so that's what we want to reproduce, that effect that we had of going to the movies and sharing in an experience.
Yeah, and one thing I love with the movies you kind of named, Fifth Element, Rocky Horror Picture Show, now Labyrinth, these were kind of movies that were safe havens back then for people who kind of felt different, for them to go and embrace the theater.
And that's the whole idea of Rainbow Cult too, is to be this sort of like cinematic sanctuary where you can go and you can share in the love. And it's so easy to talk to somebody at one of our events because you both love the same thing.
Right.
Yeah.
And so breaking down those boundaries, I think, is a big part of it too.
Well, we can't thank you enough for coming in this morning. And I know, what's the best way for people if they want to just kind of get in touch with you in general and stay up to date with what events you have?
Social media is great. We're at rainbowcult.org is our Instagram, and rainbowcult.org
Amazing.
is our website.
And we've got all the info on the screen for the event. Rainbow Cult is hosting Labyrinth at Meow Wolf. You sold out on the 19th, so you added a second one on the 20th. Still some seats available for that. They're $30, and that's going to be 6 o'clock show on the 20th, and everything starts at 7, doors open at 6 o'clock.
Andy, thank you so much for coming in.
Yes,
We appreciate it. Been a fun conversation.